All right, so today we're going to step away from the keyboard, writing React code for a moment. We're going to look at how to mock up a web page, mock up a design, so that when we code it, we know what to code instead of coding it on the fly and testing the design on the fly. So we'll be exploring different tools, and along the way, we also would talk about the reason behind certain design choices like color, layout, and even font choices and spacings and all kind of goodies. Buckle your seatbelt. Let's do it. All right, let's do some web page design here. To do a web page design, we need a tool. I think right now the best tool to use is Figma. Go to figma.com and create your login and come in, open a new drawing, and you will be here with presented with a blank canvas. And notice we have we have a very simple set of tool here, and they are just mouse pointer, frame, rectangle, pen, and font tool. Very simple tool, but it is very powerful tool. So to start, let's draw a frame first. What is a frame? A frame is an area where kind of like your own canvas, picture area that you can draw stuff in, group everything together. So as simple as that. So imagine this is your browser, your web page will be displayed in. So because it's browser, I want to make sure the dimension is right. So I would just change it to the width being 1920, the dimension. You highlight the frame and you get to change the dimension in 80. This is a 1080p dimension. Now, to pan around, you can use your middle mouse button. If you don't have middle mouse button, maybe I don't know what the thing is. Maybe double mouse key together. But I have a middle mouse button, and let's do that. If you don't have a middle mouse button, throw away your mouse. As simple as that, right? So let's rename this. Let's rename this so that we can see it better. Page 1. Okay, now we are set. What do we want to build today? Let's say you have a client or you're trying to build a markup page. You gotta have a purpose for the web page. Maybe it's a web page to sell a health product, a web page to talk about fitness, maybe a web page to talk about some blog, video blog, anything. But today, I think to make it simple, we're going to build a web page about fitness program. And now we know what we want to build. We should be talking about, okay, it's a fitness web page. What color do I want? We need to figure out a color scheme and then lay out how to display different things. Let's talk about the color scheme first. How do we choose color? Color has different meaning. For example, red, everybody knows is dangerous. It means danger. Green, it means safety. Even in today's world, it means eco-friendly or peace, that kind of stuff. And black means superior, seriousness, or sad. Gray is the same thing, sad. Blue conveys a message of intelligent. It means really intelligent. So I'm not making all this up. Let's look at some web pages. In here, Nike web page. As you can see, what's the main color theme here? The main color theme is gray, right? It repeat you even the background. Even this video, they chose a gray colored video, right? The cloud and everything is kind of a grayish and gray background for the pictures, and throughout the whole web page. Other than the actual person's image, they're all gray. So they maintain the color scheme. And another one, maybe everybody knows Facebook. The color scheme is blue. Blue convey intelligent. It makes people and peace, intelligent peace, kind of ocean calm kind of theme. I don't know if Facebook was thinking about ocean when they designed the web page, but there's a different discussion. Now, for Twitter, they want to make the web page cool and calm. They use a close to black kind of tone, and the main scheme to draw people's eyes are blue. This bright blue here. Blue also convey intelligence, right? Like what I just said. And so if you look at the web page around you, the popular website, they are easy on your eyes, but as a reader, you kind of get influenced without even knowing by the color that they chose. So now, with that said, how do we choose our own color? Here, we're gonna bust out our secret weapon. Our secret weapon is color wheel. What is the color wheel? Is a wheel that allows you to pick color, and color tends to be adjacent to each other. This is nothing new. If you're a Windows user all along, you have seen this. But in order to pick the good color, you need to go to Adobe Color, right? You search Adobe Color, and that's the first thing that come out, the color wheel. Now, once you're in here, you are going to have many options to choose. You have monochrome, you have triad, you have different template to use. But one template that I really like is analogous. Analogous will make your web page looks kind of already very cool, very harmonized when you use this profile. So in the middle, you have a main color. Let's say if my main color is blue or gray, and then we'll choose this one as the main color, and then we'll move around. And what Adobe Color will give you is what other color adjacent to this main color will harmonize, will make your website look good. So I like to spread this apart a little bit, maybe 90 degrees. And whatever color choice they give you will come together well with your website, I guarantee you. So here, I like to pick my main color as maybe this blue, right? So let's leave it at that. So next thing we want to talk about is, now we have nailed down the color profile. Let's talk about layout. Layout, in order for, let's say you're building a fitness website. Normally you will have a navigation bar at the top with your logo here and some some action that you can perform here, maybe log in, about page, or current deal, whatever, right here. And then in the body, the layout would be, you can choose to put tons of text here and bore people to death. You know nobody will read it if they're browsing your website. So I will avoid doing a lot of text. Put a lot of text here. I would actually choose 2-column layout, right? 2-column layout. One column will talk about your product with minimum amount of text, so that people can skim through, just like Nike. They're not doing a lot of wall of text. They're doing a navigation bar here, up here, and each picture has maybe a handful of 5 words, right? So that I can skim through. Just like skimming through stuff is, we do a lot of skimming through. Let's say we're reading a subtitle. We are essentially skimming through. Our eyes can skim through a short sentence really quickly, and we want to take advantage of that on our web page. All right, so we will do something like that, very short sentence. Okay, and then the other side could be a picture of your product or some filler graphics. So you have text to talk about the product, and you have some graphics to support your text. Again, so this is our layout. Let's start cracking, man. So here we go. This is a navigation bar, and let's fill this up. We said we wanted some kind of color. Let's do play around. Let's do some gradient. Okay, let's go back to our color wheel. We have our main color here. And bam, man. Okay, and then let's do another color, because gradient to white is a little harsh on the eyes. And let's do maybe purple, shall we? Right? Purple, right? Oh, wrong one. Why it must be weekend. Alright, so let's see. And we don't want this layout, we want maybe this. We'll play around with different style, but to start and see what happens here. Now you see this area is pretty light. It's so light that it's hard for us hard for people's eyes. You want to make it a little bit. If you turn this, it will start to blend, even out, the contrast even out, until you change the opacity all the way up. Now all of a sudden, this side seems to be more darker than this side, overpowering this side. So you can play with it all day and see which one is better, right? And you can play with this all day to see maybe horizontal gradient, or this gradient might look better. So let's go with this for now. We'll come back. Okay, now we have this. Now what? Now we're gonna put the logo here. The logo, you come here, you draw a circle, right? O. And then you draw a circle here. Now what I'm doing is, you see, you can do this, and there. Isn't that wonderful? That's it. We're done. we're done with this video. Do you feel cheap? No, we're not done yet. Let's we have a logo, and then we'll put our company here. Let's be creative. Make some name. Don't, since this is a fitness video, let's make some name. Don't wanna fat again. Right? So let's have some fun. This is a markup page. We can do whatever we want. Alright, so let's choose the font. The font here, we have so many different fonts, but the best way to choose a font is to go to our Mr. Google. Type in fonts.google.com, and it will allow you to choose all kind of fonts and give you some preview how it looks like. So nowadays, the classic type of fonts, for example, like the classic type or the funny looking one is really hard on the eye, on our eyes, and you want to use a very traditional type of font, easy to read. So one of the easy to read fonts are serif, right? But if you look at this, you see there are like pointy places, and curvy edges, and different what you call that, different thickness, even in one letter. So it tends to look a little bit classic. So for digital age nowadays, we want to use more uniform font so that your eyes can skim through it really quickly. So one of the fonts that we really like or use the most is Sans serif or Sans. So I personally like this one. Very even, right? There's no thickness difference even in the same letter, and very round. There's no pointy edges. So I'll choose this one. You like it now? So open Sans, and let's talk about now. We nailed down the font, and let's be sure to use the same type of font throughout the website, so that it doesn't draw people's attention to areas that you don't like people to focus on. And let's talk about the size. So unfortunately, we have a long company name, but if it's shorter, we can make this bigger. So we are on 64, but this is a long company name. We don't want it to be that big. We want it to be just good enough, right? And this, if you really want to draw people's eyes, make it bold. Whatever, right? For now, we'll just align like that. Now, since this is black and this is also on a darker tone, let's play around with this. Change it to white, total white. But if we change it to total white, it will definitely stand out because of the contrast. You don't have to. You can bring it down a tiny bit to make it blend in. So now it's not as strong as the other one, right? So here, what am I doing? This versus this. This versus this. We're kind of doing I accept this and this. Which one is more clear? Right? So let's do this for now. Now we have the company logo, we have the company name nailed down. Let's do the action on this navigation bar. So in order to not do a lot of redo, we're going to copy and paste. You will highlight this and hold down the Alt key and then drag. You will copy and drag together. So let's do our login here. And then same here, highlight here, hold down your Alt key and give it 64. Then give it again 64. And notice we're competing. Right now, we're competing. Which side of the web page are we looking at, right? We don't want to compete with our company logo, right? So we would make this to be a little bit smaller. It was 48 fonts. We'll make 36, right? I know it looks small here because we are not zooming in. And then let's see, too tight. Okay, 34. Okay, deal. And then we change this. And then we do this. Right? Now, again, depending on how bright you want, you can adjust it here. Maybe a little bit dimmer. Right? So it doesn't shine. We don't want something to be so bright it takes away the attention from the real body, right? Or I could even argue make it maybe a little bit dimmer, right? But we can do this all days. But the idea is you want to make sure the contrast is right, right? All right, so let's talk about the body. The layout of a web page will have two main places. One is the product detail, another is some kind of image. It could be a product image or some filler image. So for now, let's start this out as a text first. The text will be Revolution Plus, right? Something like that, right? Now, how big of the font we want? This is already big, right? We are talking about how big is this font? Let's say 48, right? Maybe we can downsize a little bit, but 48, we want this to stand out. We don't want this to be the main things that people focus on. Let's say 48, let's see. So here, this one we can use 48. Now notice here, they give you a little bit of incremental value, incremental gap between different fonts. So my rule of thumb is I have an increment of 12. So if at 48, the next increment downsize is 36, and 36, the next downsize is 24, right? So you cannot have like, okay, this font is 48, the next font is maybe 45, no good. No, that's not going to be uniform. You want to have a set increment for people to expect what is the main thing that you're trying to say, what is the a little bit less important thing you're trying to say, that convey the message what is important. So here 48 is good, right? The font size, again, the font size needs to be uniform. We're not going to pick and choose. Okay, next, in order to not type too much, we're going to use the magic trick, Alt, drag. Okay, let's say this is a subtitle, 20 years of fitness research in diet and routine, right? And this is the second one. Again, we don't want to compete with the logo, not the name, product name. We want it to be slightly less, right? Now, if you look at this, all jumbled up together, you don't know what stands out. So let's use color to make it stand out. It's all about drawing attention. What do you want to draw attention? What do you want to have the most attention? You draw it, right? So here, our best friend, color wheel, we talk about the main color. Is this blue? Let's use this main color here, and then change this to the main color, right? If we choose the main color to be this, right? Or if we think this main color looks a lot like a clickable link, then we can also try a different color, maybe purple, right? So that people don't misunderstand this is a clickable link or not. All right, so this brings a little bit more energy, right? And here, if you want this to be bold, and this could be bold too, but now if we do this is 36 font size, and this is 48. Now you can see the difference now, right? You know what is drawing people's eyes. It is the name itself, right? Now, next is going to be, let's put one more sentence here, call us at 911 911. It's so such an emergency, right? So, and then now if we put it together, it's not going to stand out, right? What do? We draw this a little bit farther away, right? 149, 149. And then we also change the font size to the next smaller increment. Now, in this case, it's too small. Maybe we don't do that. We keep it like that. We just use the space to make it stand out, right? So here, we're good. And what do we do now? We want to, let's say we call people to call this number, and also we want a button here. We want a button. How do I draw the button, you ask? I can always hear it. So the button is a rectangle here. I just press R without you knowing. I press R, and here is the button. You want to make it kind of catchy, like that. And now, again, again over and over again, what color do we want for the button? Do our color wheel again. Here, the color could go well if we use green, right? Green conveys safety and peace and all that goodies. So let's see. Here, right? Now, if you just look at the button here, and then you, in the button, you do a text, maybe call learn more, okay? And then you align it right in the middle, right? A little bit like that, kind of right in the middle. What is he doing? Okay. Learn more. And then we group this together. And then here. Now, what I want to do is this. If you look at the button, this is bothering me. Okay, ungroup this. And here. Okay, like this. Now, two things to look at. Now, if this is all black, we want this to stand out too. One of the ways to do it, again, we're going to use color. It's all about color, right? So solid color, or we use the color that we want. But the best one is this. Learn more. Make this bigger. Learn more. Why does it? Oh my God. Like this. Like this, right? And then these two guys come here. Now this is the button. It's smaller. Now we have this and this grouped together. And then this and this. Like this. Oh. This, a little bit more. Now, what I was doing was this is the button. You want to use, since we have a section here saying call to action, the button and the phone number, we cannot put it too close to here. We use spacing to make them stand out in this case instead of using color. Now with that, it's all standing out. We know it doesn't take too much to read this section, and then it doesn't take too much to read this section. And I made this round corner with this attribute here. Put 13 here, that should do. And we stick with our color wheel scheme, right? Now, what do we do here? What do we do on this side? We are going to make a picture, to get a picture. This is a fitness program. We're going to do this. We're going to, again, borrow some picture from a website called Undraw. Let's say Undraw, right? You type Undraw in Google. Let's Undraw, bro, like that. First thing, come out. Undraw, and then go in there. This is a website that has a lot of vector graphics. Vector means you can scale it up and down and still remains really readable instead of pixelated. So you can type in whatever you want to search, type of picture. Right now I'm doing fitness, right? Let's do this picture, okay? I like that yoga pose. Okay, and here we're gonna fill this up to the yoga pose. Yeah, there, right? Now, once you drag it in here, you can resize it, but make sure you resize it proportionally, and don't put it too much because it's eating into this column space. Right, you want to keep it in your own, for lack of a better word, your stay in your lane, right? Like that. And I'm not putting it somewhere here. I'm putting it a little bit off so that we have enough margin. When we read a web page, having enough margin is always good because people doesn't need to read all the way across town to see this side. They can keep their eyes focused in the middle area, right? So we're gonna put it here. And now, if you look at that, it is a little bit small here, right? So let's see what we can do. We're gonna highlight all these. No, let's individually change this to be 64. 48. What's the next increment? Is supposed to be 60, right? Let's do 60. Right? And then we're gonna do this bigger. And this is 48. Right? $60. 48 may be too much. Remain 36, right? And then okay, so here. Okay, now we have a very simple web page to read. Now, what happened down here? We could put a testimony cards here or some other detail here, but assuming this is a one-page landing page, we need to find something to fill it. Otherwise, you keep people hanging. Right? This is part of the layout. The layout is we have navigation bar, we have two body column, and at the bottom we need to close it out, just like where's my Nike? Right? Here. Whoa, this is another level. Did I just press something wrong? Here. So just like here, they always have something to close out the page, right? And assuming we don't do something like that for today, but we still need something to close out the page. Here we go. We will draw some, we'll come to here, use the pen tool, and then draw something, right? Draw some kind of wave. Here, right? Just to close it out nicely. Now we have this kind of wave pattern here. Again, we come back to our color wheel and pick a color. This time we might pick this one. And fill it. Oh, wrong thing. And we are going to select this one, not the stroke, but let's do fill, right? And then fill this guy. Now, do you see this is matching with the whole, flowing with the whole page? It doesn't all of a sudden become attention grabbing. So let's tone this down a little bit. Still the same color, but we're just toning it down. Right? So we have a very harmonized web page. We have the color, the blue color, and we have attention grabbing this section because of the purple and the green, right? So this looks really easy for people's eye now, but notice it looks good, but is it really that good in terms of alignment? Let's look. We're getting to be a little bit more technical now. We are down to the nitty-gritty, even the alignment. For example, to look at alignment, we're gonna use this tool called layout grid. If you come here, layout grid, you hit the plus sign, you can have a grid, and the grid has 3 different type of grid. Just grid, just like this, or column grid. Column grid allow you to align everything vertically. And I myself, if you're developing a web page, there's a responsive design, and Bootstrap has this notion of 12 columns, dividing up a web page into 12 different sections. So let's go with that mechanism for now, and see how we can line up stuff. Now, vertically. Now, let's start with logo first. As what I said, we always want to have a margin on the side, and let's push this guy a little bit off, right? Leave a margin, or even the color, the white area, push a little bit, but I like it to be this. Now for this, let's really keep a margin here, right? So that everything could be pushed in towards the center instead of on the edges. You don't want people to turn their head when they're reading your web page so much, right? So based on that rule, we can do something like this. Oops. we can do something like this, right? We certainly can. But this will leave the middle a little bit void. And we can settle about middle. Wait, yeah, about middle here, and see what happens. Okay. Oh, this one like that, and then this guy, we can do this, right? Now let's take this off so that we see it in its full glory. Still look good. Now let's figure out the alignment, vertical alignment now, right? So let's change the grid style to row style. Now if we do that, we're going to align this to, it happen to be perfect align, and then this to be there, a little bit align this, we want to align with this guy, and this is 36, this is 36, that look good. And what about this? This, we could make this a group, and align it on there. Or we align the top to here, and then this, we go down here, like that way. Now, so these, the whole thing, perfect align. Oh, I always forget this, 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 and this. So we want to have this whole thing align like that. Now after the alignment, let's take this away. Now it's pretty even, right? We have a margin here, we have a margin here, and that looks perfectly easy to read, right? So I hope you that's it. I hope you like this video, and I hope you understand the rationale behind some of the design choices, including color, layout, and in fact, let's play around with this a little bit. What if we don't use gradient, right? We just use a solid color, right? That we chose, solid color that we chose. This, you'll make it the same. The whole web page has this purplish, bluish theme, or green, right? You see immediate difference, feel, and energy coming through, right? So, or we stick with playing with gradient. So it's really up to you. Now that we have the layout, so this looks really uniform, and the attention will be somewhere here right away, right? So I hope you like this video. With consideration, of different design choices. And if you do, please subscribe. I'll see you next time.